Okay, today we would be working on multiplication. Multiplication. So let's see how this goes. Now, the method of multiplication is we start from the left, not the right. The right is the traditional way of starting, but we start from the left. So this is a different method from the one you usually know. So how do you go about this? So we start. Yeah. Okay. So we start by putting a zero. Once you put down your zero, then the thing you start is 3 times 5. Remember, we always start with putting your zero, then you have 3 times 5. Now, 3 times 5 is 15. How do I write 15? 1 on this zero and then 5 down here. Then the next is 3 times 4. Now, 3 times 4 is 12. How do I write 12? 1 on 5 and 2 down here. That's all. And we are done. Easy peasy. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 plus 5 is 6. And this is 2. We've gotten our answer. The answer is 162. So it's as simple as that. Remember, you start by putting down is 0. Then you multiply using the right 3 times 5, getting answer. 3 times 4, getting answer. And then this thing. So let's try that example and see how it goes. Okay, here we have 78 times 4. So remember, we start with a 0 outside here. Now we go 7 times 4. Now, 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 4 is 28. So how do we write 28? We put the 2 on the 0 here and 8 down here. So that's 28. So the next is 4 times 8. 4 times 8. Now, how do we do 4 times 8? 4 times 8 is what? 32. Remember, 4 times 8 is the same thing as 2 times 8 times 4. 32. So we'll put 3 here and 2 down here. So you can see when you have 2 digits, you don't have to just go to arrange it. And that we are done. So 2 plus 0, all we need to do now is add. 2 plus 0 is 2. 8 plus 3 is 11. 8 plus 3 is 11. How to write 11? Remember, you don't write the 11 like this. No, that would be wrong. You don't write it. That's not the way the method goes. Once it's 2 digits, you put 1 on this and put the other one down here. And then you have this 2. So once you are done with this, the next thing you do, since there's still a baby there, all you do is add. All you do is you add. Now, how do we do, of course, our addition? 2 plus 1 is what? 3. Then you have 1 and then you have 2. That's all. The answer is 312. So you can see 78 times 4. Look at the process. Easy peasy. No stress. So let's move to the next question. So this is the next 184 times 6. Remember, I said we always start with a 0. So you have your 0. So what we do now is 6 times 1. 6 times 1, of course, is 6. Now, that's just a digit. Just write the 6 down here. You don't put the 6 on 0. No. If it's a 2-digit number, like let us assume we said 2 times 6 and got 12. We'll put 1 here and 2 down here. But it's just 6, a digit number. So you don't put it on 0. You write it on its own. Now, the next is 6 times 8. 6 times 8. Now, 6 times 8 is 48. Now, since 6 times 8 is 48, how do you think we're going to write the 48? We're going to put 4 here and 8 on its own here. Now, the next is 6 times 4. Now, what do you think 6 times 4 would be? 24. How do you think we're going to write 24? We're going to put 2 up here on 8 and then 4 down here. So that's easy peasy. We are done. So all we need to do now is just add. This is going to be 0. Now, 4 plus 6 is 10. How to write 10? We'll put 1 on this 0 and then 0 down here. Then the next is 2 plus 8. 2 plus 8 is 10. How to write the 10? Is 1 here and 0 down here. And this is just 4 without a baby. 4 without a baby. Okay. So, yeah. So let's add up. So what we have here, 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 plus 0 here is 1. Then we have 0 and then we have 4. Easy. 1,104. That's the answer. Okay, let's try one more example and then we're done with this. Okay, so this is the final question for this class. So remember, we always start with a 0 out here. Okay, now the first thing is 7 times 7. Now, 7 times 7 is 49. So how do I write 49? 4 up here and 9 down here. So the next thing is 7 times 3. Now, 7 times 3 is 21. How do I write 21? I write 21 by putting a 2 here and 1 down here. And finally, we have 7 times 1. How do you do 7 times 1? That's 7, just 1 digit. You write it down. So with that, we're done. All we need to do is just add up. 4 plus 0 here gives us 4. Let me write the 4 properly. Then 2 plus 9 gives us 11. How to write 11? 1 on this 4, and then 1 standing here. Then this is just 1 without a baby, and this is 7 without a baby. So there's still a baby there, so we need to add. As long as there's a baby, we need to add. So 4 plus 1 is 5, so we add that, we get 5. No baby here, so that's a 1. No baby here, that's a 1. And no baby here, that's a 7. So what we have here is 5,117. I hope you understand. If you do not understand, you need to watch it again and then do the classwork that will follow. Thank you.